today is day 10. We are day 10, fully carnivore, strict carnivore this month, just to get ourselves going and to get on track to see if, in fact, things will get better. And so I ran across this article and I wanted to just put it out there. It's from the New Zealand Herpes Foundation. And it's, just getting the basic facts. And because there's so much hype around herpes. Herpes. You got herpes. Like it's, like, I don't know, the plague, or you've got something as bad as, what the heck was that called? That really awful skin thing that in the past where they didn't have I'll think of it, just awful, that people died from it, right? So today, I guess the equivalent would be if you got herpes, other people who don't know and don't understand, equate it practically to like if you've got AIDS. AIDS back in the day. Now it's, that's not a problem. I don't know. It's amazing the shame that floats around the word herpes, leprosy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's even the same in Greek, pretty much. I should have known it. Just totally, yeah. So I mean, the shame around this thing is unreal. It's unreal, and I felt it. I mean, all of me was like this big, blistering, pussy thing. I mean, who wouldn't feel ashamed of that? But the more I read up on it, the more I began to understand things. It's like, pretty much everybody's got some form of herpes or another. And older people like me, right? I mean, we basically all went through chicken pox. And the chicken pox back in the day, right, is is the precursor to herpes zoster. And I never had herpes zosters ever in my life. And, they say it comes out later on. Well, mine did, definitely. So, I mean, it's like all these things that people are so uptight about. And I understand if you need to like not have everybody know that you've got herpes of some kind. Obviously, the most shameful one is genital herpes, like, whatever. It's really ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous, the whole shame thing, that you have to feel ashamed of who you are. If the person you're talking to has a negative, insulting, condescending kind of reaction to you, they're not your people. Plain, simple fact. You don't really want to be with those people. That's the way I think, right? If somebody comes around me and they're like freaking out because I've got herpes, whether I have an outbreak or not, no, you're not my people. And you're obviously highly uneducated. Go learn a little bit about herpes and how common it is. 70 to 90% of people have one form of herpes or another. And in my book, because not everybody is documented, I'm pretty sure that number is higher. You tell me one person out there who does not have or has never had a cold sore, HSV1, right? You give me one person who has never been through that. And how many people have genital herpes and they have no clue? No clue. And they're out spreading it around, right? Because people don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They're ignorant. They, get a little bump, a little blister, and they're like, they think it's an ingrown hair. Well, let me tell you something. So, I just wanted to read through this thing today. I hope you're all doing well, by the way, and going strong. So it's getting the facts, and it says here, I'm kind of paraphrasing. It's a very emotionally charged issue, duh. And so we need to know the facts. Yes. Most people know little or no facts about herpes. Frequently, what knowledge they have is colored by myth and misconception. That's what I'm saying. You get somebody with a bad reaction, if they're not going to listen to you to at least go and educate themselves a little bit about what this whole herpes thing is, you don't want that kind of person around you. Let them go. Go, 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 go. So, having the information and knowing what to do with it is a pretty good thing for us and for those out there who want to learn more about it, which is valid. So, let's see, there's a lot of information about herpes. Well, whatever. Anyways, but herpes simplex causes viral skin condition known as cold sores on the face, whitlows on the fingers, this is me, or herpes on genitals or other skin areas. That's me. Herpes simplex virus, HSV, most often shows up as small blisters or sores on either the mouth, a cold sore, or fever blisters, or the genitals. Yes, HSV can be passed on when one person has the herpes virus present on the skin and another person makes direct skin-to-skin contact with the live herpes virus. It is also said that, I don't think it is written here, but it is also said, and I also from I think also from a New Zealand, maybe the same place, but an article that was talking about research that there's some out there, we don't know the number, that whether you have an outbreak or not, you can still pass it on. I don't know that is a big number. I think they were saying that it's just it's a few people. Maybe you guys know more than I do on that. But the point is about the shame thing that I'm talking about. If you don't even know you have it, and you're out sleeping around, having a great time, and effectively passing it on, whether your partner or your partners, you don't know if they're going to have, if they're going to get the virus and get like something really small, like a little like ingrown hair type thing for genital herpes, or maybe like they get a little cold sore, a little tiny one, and who cares, no big deal. But it gets passed on, and sometimes even if you don't get outbreaks, you can still pass it on, and that's really quite interesting. That's really quite interesting. There are likely to be certain days when active herpes virus might be on the skin, even though there are no obvious signs or symptoms. So it might come out on the skin and you ain't got no clue. You just don't know. You just don't know. And there you go. You're having a great heyday. An afternoon delight, if anybody remembers those days. There was a song, Sex in the Afternoon, in other words. And you're passing it on. You don't know, right? So, I mean, that's all. It can all be kind of scary, but it's not. Always using condoms can reduce the risk of the virus by approximately 50%. So it's not even 100% or 90% or 80%. It's 50%. Herpes is very frequently transmitted by infected persons who don't know they are infected with herpes. This is why the shame thing needs to go out the window. This is why this whole thing needs to be opened up and talked about and accepted and just like big freaking deal, right? I mean, let's just take the lid off, let it steam over and just calm down. Calm the F down, I want to say. Because it can be, and people can get infected with herpes and they have no clue. No clue. That is why the percentage of people with herpes, one type of herpes or another, is huge. Nearly everybody, if not everyone, it has some kind of herpes virus in them. So, how can we all be ashamed of nearly everyone on the planet, right? Of something that is so common, like as common as breathing, right? Let's get off the shame wagon. Seriously, let's let that go. And since they have not been diagnosed, they are unaware that they may be contagious from time to time. So even if you're not having an outbreak, you can still be contagious from time to time. Okay? Now, we folks here who know that we've got this herpes virus, whatever kind you got, right? But especially genital herpes, right? When we're with someone, I'm assuming that we're honest about it and open about it, and helping them understand if they're having some kind of trouble with it. But listen, if they're having too much trouble with it, you don't want them anyways. But the point being that we know, and so we can tell others, and they can talk about what their experiences have been, right? Chances are, I mean, if they haven't got genital herpes, they've got another kind. I mean, you can just count on it. And the thing is like if you've got HSV1 and you're having sex with someone and you're having oral sex and you happen to have some kind of cold sore, probably not a good idea. So, I mean, everybody needs to be aware and kind of educated, maybe re-educated. But getting rid of the shame is the first place to start. It's the number one place to start, like letting it go. Because as long as there's shame, it's at the lowest level of the emotional frequency scale. It's the lowest. Like you can't get any lower than shame. So why don't we get out of that and just kind of lift it up, just get on to at least a neutral level where we can be okay. We can be okay. Whew, man, I wanted to say these things to people for years because man, was I ever lost in shame. Big time. Seriously lost in shame. And no. I'm coming out full force, me as I am, and just speaking openly. And anybody can ask me anything. I'm not going to hide anywhere. I'm not going to, put up somebody else's face rather than my own. I'm coming full out there, and I'm standing for all of you guys, whoever's not ready to come out and help this world understand that herpes is really not that big of a deal, okay? And the majority of people have average outbreaks. Nothing, I mean, they're not fun, but they're average outbreaks. big deal, right? Uh, Things that people can handle. They don't have it like I had it, right? Just this full body, whatever. You can see my other videos. I won't talk about that here, but uh, let's see. I'm not going to go through all of this. Let's click on the link here, the thing that says, "What is genital herpes?" Because that's the shame one. Um, common infection, a common infection, generally transmitted through sexual contact. It is caused by one of two members of a family of viruses, which also include the viruses causing chickenpox and shingles and glandular fever. I don't know that I've had glandular fever. Oh, yes. I think they're talking about what, the mumps? Is that, does anybody know? Glandular fever, because I had that too. So I guess I have maybe 5 types of herpes. Anyways, usually genital herpes is caused by infection with simple herpes simplex virus type 2. And studies suggest that in some countries, 1 in 5 people are infected with this virus. Genital herpes can also be caused by HSV1, cold sores, the virus which usually causes cold sores on the lips and face through oral genital contact. Genital herpes, for most people, is an occasionally recurrent, sometimes painful condition for which effective treatment is now available. Yeah, there's the antivirals, there's all sorts of things coming out. Generally, it's not life-threatening and has no long-term repercussions on one's general physical health. Depending on how bad you get it, I would say for me that it did have long-term repercussions on my general physical health. Not that physically I was sick when I didn't have the herpes, which was almost all the time, but mentally and emotionally, very, very, very lost in that downward spiral, in that shame area, in that, oh my God, do I have to live with this for the rest of my life? Is this what my life is going to look like? Can't go outside, can't be in the sun, can't eat foods, certain foods, right? I knew that arginine was a no-no, that it feeds the herpes and gives it strength and power. Yeah, no, and the herpes virus has not caused problems in me physically. Yeah, Sniper Jordan, hi. Yeah, I know you can, man. I know. You know, being here and doing these, starting this YouTube channel and just opening up about this and getting vocal and in your face. But this is what I want to say. I have spent all these years alone in shame. I mean, yeah, with my family, right? But just my family. Like I would not go outside. I live on a Greek island, the summer here. You want to go out, you want to go swimming, I couldn't do any of that. And so the shame for me was intense. It was intense. I don't want anybody to go through that. I don't think any of this is necessary. And yeah, because I found health and peace on the carnivore diet, that, has brought me back out into the world, out of the shame pit. and here with you, and I get to share this with other people who know what I felt like, who know what it's like. I mean, even when you have like a bad outbreak, an HSV1 is kind of a bad outbreak. It's so uncomfortable. You have a hard time eating. Your lips are cracking. You're bleeding. It's It's awful. It's awful. And it's not just that you have the outbreaks, but you feel sick too because it's a virus, right? And it just happens to live in us. And okay, I can have all those herpes in there. My pals, they can live with me. They can stay there. I don't care. I just don't want to give them a reason to come out and express themselves on my body anymore. And since I've done this carnivore thing, I don't get them. Like it's been over a year since I've had one outbreak, and that outbreak was because I started eating salads. I said this the other day. So I was bringing something new into my body, and there was a reaction. I'm not saying salads are bad. Absolutely not saying any of that. But for me right now, not a possibility. And I much prefer to be like this, like no, 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 no outbreaks. I don't want them. I don't want them. No, thank you. I'll just keep eating meat, eggs, butter, tallow, heavy cream, and I will have my coffee as long as it's not bothering me. And so far, 3.5 years, it has not bothered me in any kind of way that I know of, right? But it hasn't bothered me. So, anyone who is sexually, back to the article, anyone who is sexually active is at risk of catching genital herpes, regardless of their gender, race, or social class. Yeah, we know that. Okay, I'm not going to read anymore. It's a huge thing here. Of course, they're not talking about going carnivore or keto in any way. They're not talking about that. They're talking about, taking your typical antivirals and doing whatever herbal stuff, things like that. So, and I'm not against that. Go for it. Do it, obviously. Do what works for you. But I tried this carnivore thing on a whim. Like, I did not believe, I thought it was going to kill me. I've said this before. I was eating for the first month and I thought, I'll be dead by the end of the month with all this meat and fat. But I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here talking about herpes. Oh, this is so much fun. I love this. I love this. I love this. So that's it, you guys. Today is day 10. What are you having? What's on your menu today? I want to say for this month, I would definitely stay away from spices. Did you ever try the anti? Yes, I did. Oh gosh, I did. I did do antivirals. Of course, I went to a skin doctor and they said, well, try the antivirals. And I did for 2 years. And I still got my herpes. They were better. They weren't as bad, but I took them for 2 years and with a small break in the middle, but it really didn't do anything. I still got them. They weren't as intense, but I got them as many times as I got them when I wasn't taking the antivirals. And I was taking a large dose. I think I was taking the highest dose of the valacyclovir. I still have the box in my cupboard. Probably expired by now, but that's what I was taking. I had all of the creams and everything. I'd take them twice a day, one in the morning and once at night. When I first started, I think she actually put me on 3 times a day just to get things under control. And yeah, absolutely, it helped. It helped. I happen to also be the kind of person that doesn't believe that a pill is going to make things better. They are necessary, they can help. I'm not saying go stop taking whatever your medications are. Don't do that. Don't be stupid about it, right? But if you're basically healthy, and I was basically healthy, something's not right. Something's not right. Something's not right. I don't want to take pills every day. I don't like it. I don't want to. I will find something to do with my food. That seems to be the first place that I go to these days because whatever I'm putting in here is going in, and it's expressing itself on the body because that's what I'm eating. Right? You agree, Sniper Jordan? Yeah. So yeah, I will, if I have to take something, I will definitely take it. You know, I'll take a Panadol or something if I get sick, but I haven't been sick. I have not been sick forever. I mean, sick, like with a cold or a flu or this or that. If everybody in the house is sick, I always think, oh my God, I'm going to get this. I'm going to be in bed. It's going to be awful. And then nothing really happens. I have a day of like maybe kind of being, and then it's gone. Or maybe a little bit of my throat, maybe, but like just barely. And you guys, I'm not lying about this. You'll see if you follow along and you stay carnivore, you'll see that you have everything your body needs to fight off whatever's going on in here. So I just needed to get rid of all the carbohydrates because that was spiking my thyroid Hashimoto's thing, and as a result, I was having such bad outbreaks, probably because of that. I have no documentation, no research, no this or that. It's my own, logical conclusion as to why I had such bad outbreaks. So having dropped the carbohydrates to nothing or minimal, maybe 5 to 20 when my watermelon days, which are gone at least until next summer. We'll see. We'll see what I do next summer. Um, so everything just dropped down, no carbohydrates, and the whole Hashimoto's markers, everything about it just stopped. So if I had gone in for Hashimoto's and taken pills or had them burn up my thyroid or something, would that have been the solution? Taking the medications? Or can I do something about it with my diet? So if Hashimoto's is something that is highly affected by carbohydrates, I'm going to get rid of the carbohydrates. I didn't know this about the Hashimoto's thing. I found out after I started carnivore, and then I went and I thought, well, let's just do a thyroid thing. And the markers were, for Hashimoto's were up to 2,500. And it should have been at 60, 60, and I was at 2,500. I have those documents. I can show you those. And now I'm back at 60. Now they've lowered it. The years have gone by, and they're like, oh, now if you're above 30, you have to take the medications and stuff. I don't do that. No, I'm fine at 60. Because if 60 was the markers for many, many years, they've just, they can sell more they can sell more drugs if they lower the markers. Same thing for cholesterol. If you're basically under 300 at a cholesterol level, I think you're okay, right? If you're carnivore or a ketovore, even keto. If you're up at 300, I mean, 300 has been the level for the longest time, and our brains need cholesterol. If we haven't got the cholesterol, we are at higher risk of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia because the gray matter needs cholesterol, and if you haven't got it, your brain's just gonna kind of like wither away. which is pretty interesting, as no doctors out there are talking about that. Everybody's saying lower it, no cholesterol, this, that, and the other thing. So some of you, I don't claim to know anything. Just things that I come across that pertain to me and my health. And I'm not afraid to try something for a while and see how it works, what happens. So I tried carnivore for a month, and that was 3.5 years ago. And no, not going back. Not going back. I don't want to take antivirals. I don't need to. The only thing when I get scared, like if I get scared, like that something might, like because I got stressed about something, or I don't know, I had an argument with my husband or something, right? And the stress thing, because I used to, obviously, when you have stress, your immune system kind of crashes a little bit, and then the virus can come out. And if I feel something like that, I have a little bit of fear. I just run to my lysine, and I will take like 1,000 milligrams of lysine for a day or two, and then it seems to be okay. And like, I don't get an outbreak. I'm afraid I might get an outbreak, and that's just residual fear from my side. Because I had them so bad, and I can't imagine getting an outbreak now. I can't imagine. It's like, no. So that's about it, you guys. I've been talking for a while, probably too long, but traumatized. That is a perfect word. Yeah, traumatized. And it can be very traumatic, especially when you're alone, especially when you don't have others who know what you're going through, especially when people look at you and go, oh, you poor thing, and you get that whole pity thing. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to be seen, and I want to be heard, and I want to be loved with my herpes. So here I am. Yeah. All right. Again, did you, Sniper Jordan, did you get the invite? I think I sent an invite on the Discord channel. Anybody wants to join up? It's got herpes, question mark, eat meat, exclamation point, is the name of the server. I'm still learning the Discord thing. And I want to create a safe place where you can come in and be anonymous if you want, or come in as you are if you want. And we are pulling each other through on this carnivore herpes experiment. Okay, it worked for me. It has worked for other people as well. Like I said, I'm not a researcher. I'm just an artist, as you can see, my little studio. I don't know anything, but I do know what it feels like to have herpes and have these outbreaks and have them all the time. Did you get it, Sniper Jordan, the invite link? I did send it out today. And I know what it's like. And I can help you there. And I am not a diehard. I'm a diehard carnivore for me, because that's what's working for me right now. But if it's not your path, it's not your path. That's fine. But you can try the carnivore diet. It will not only help you with your herpes. Oh, thank you so much. It'll not only help you with your outbreaks. They may not get rid of them. I can't claim that they will. But I suspect, and I have a pretty strong suspicion, that they will greatly decline. And if they greatly decline and the intensity of the outbreaks are much less than what they usually are, then that's a win. And you have to remember, there's a friend of mine out there who tried carnivore for a couple months. And then now he's probably about 70% carnivore and then eats other things too. He's a young guy, so I understand that, and wants to go out and party. And he's taking some an herbal supplement, which seems to be helping him, which is great. So I just want to say that for me, I had to do 6 months hardcore carnivore, what we're doing now for this 30-day thing, right? Just carnivore and not bother with anything else. And I did that. The only thing that I had was coffee and with heavy cream. I just didn't put sugar in it, no sweeteners of any kind. I just added butter and heavy cream, and I absolutely love it. So that's what I did. I needed 6 months to greatly to get rid of them. It was after I started at the end of March, and it was after the end of September when I had my last outbreak. I had one here, but it was like two or three little blisters, two or three, and they didn't even like break out, right? They just kind of like swelled up, itching, swelled up, and then they were gone like 2 days later. And I was like, freaking out. I was freaking out because I didn't expect it. I didn't. So, yeah, I am so excited. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to have you here, Sniper Jordan. Let's go have a connection again on Discord, and anybody else out there wanting to come to Discord. People on my Facebook group, on the private Facebook group by the same name. I will be shutting down the Facebook group eventually. So please come over there and connect with us, and let's create a community where we can work through the shame that we have gone through, where we can let it go, open up, have a laugh, lighten up a little bit, right? And if you want to try the carnivore thing, come along for the ride. All right. Take care, everyone. I will see you all again tomorrow for day 11. Have a good night, everyone.